Hi, welcome back to Joe's CA Garage. So today I'm going to be installing these. These are LED interior lights that plug in via USB. As I did the red footbeds and I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. The thing I don't love is that after a few seconds it times out and they shut off. I'd like to be able to have a way to do this while I'm driving or while I'm just cruising, or if I'm just sitting parked somewhere where the interior can have a nice red, or in this case, this is an RBG or RGB where you can change the color, glow. This one also responds to music. So I'm gonna show you how to install this. This should be pretty easy, straightforward to do. The hardest part's gonna be hiding the wires, and that's not gonna be hard. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to be installing these. These are LED interior lights that plug in via USB. Now, in the CA Corvette, there is a USB and a USB-C port in the center console. I'm going to use that. I may wiretap it into one of the fuses in the glove box later on, but for now, I'm going to do this. And the reason is I did the red footbeds and I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. The thing I don't love is that after a few seconds, it times out and they shut off. I'd like to be able to have a way to do this while I'm driving or while I'm just cruising, or if I'm just sitting parked somewhere where the interior can have a nice red, or in this case, this is an RBG or RGB where you can change the color, glow. This one also responds to music. So I'm gonna show you how to install this. This should be pretty easy, straightforward to do. The hardest part's gonna be hiding the wires, and that's not gonna be hard. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's show you what's in the box. By the way, this was bought on Amazon for, I don't remember the price. I want to say it was like $30 or $40. I'll put a link in the description. So basically, we've got 4 LED strips, and I like them because they're very close, so it's going to give one consistent or continuous glow. You're going to have 2 on each side. So the way this is going to be wired is, you've got a USB port here, which, by the way, so that I can continue to use my phone charging cord, I actually got a hub that I'm going to plug into the USB, and then I can plug this as well as other things like the phone charger, etc., into this. This is going to stay inside that center console as well. But this is what's going to plug into this in one of the ports. Okay, this is going to stay in the center console, and then it's going to branch out. And the way it branches out is there's 2 divisions. There's one for one side and one for the other side. It also comes with a remote so you can control the colors. It also responds to sound, which is you can also use this to turn it on and off. This is a different mode selector. You can, I guess, double-sided stick this on somewhere. I may just hide this somewhere in the center console. And the point being is that one of these, so the first one, if it's going to come out of the center console, is going to go behind the seat. I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to put it in the middle section or I want to put it in the outer section glowing inward. I think the outer section glowing inward is going to work better. This wire is then going to loop and run down. I'm going to tuck this underneath by the door sill. And then this one is going to go right next to the already existing or replaced LED strip that I have under there now by the footbeds, so that I can have just the footbeds working. If I turn this on, this can go with it. It'll make that footbed area a little more bright if this is on at the same time. But this will allow me to leave on an LED glow in the interior, regardless of whether the footbeds have timed out or not. All right, let's get to work. All right, so as you can see here, this is what is going to plug into the USB port here. Now there's a split here that I want to make sure is not resting on this part here so that this can clear, but we can then run the wires up in this little groove here and then tuck it behind that part, and then do the same on the other side, tuck it behind there, and then it'll actually look very clean. You really won't see it, just looks like a black piece here. I can get tucked down a little bit better, just make it a little smoother. It'll run down here behind the seat, and then it'll come out over here Let me pull this out here. It got tucked behind already. All right. So this piece here, this is the first LED strip, and I'm gonna actually mount it along this section right here. Unfortunately, some of it's gonna overlap with this clothy type material because I want it to end at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that here, where my finger is. Right here, that's where the plastic meets before it reaches the carpet. I'm gonna take this, mount it here. I'm gonna clean this up with a little rubbing alcohol. I don't have the 3M promoter, but I'll do without it. If I need to, I can always reinsert some more 3M tape back there. It's a non-permanent mod, so it's cool. And then I'm gonna tuck the wire back behind here, run it down there underneath all of this here, have it come up under here, and then run, you can see the glow of the other one right next to and parallel with that one. So I'll have another glow under here, and I'll have a glow back here that will shine light into the cabin this way. It should look pretty good. The only thing I'm contemplating would be maybe to put it up here and have a glow this way. I'm not sure if that would look better, although I don't think it will. I think it'll look nicer to come from next to the seat here, but we'll see, and if I have to move it, I'll move it. It's a non-permanent mod. All right, so now that the seat's out of the way, I've tucked the wire up under here, and then I'm gonna bring it behind this carpet material. It's gonna stay behind that the whole time. You're not gonna see any wires. This is gonna be exceptionally clean. As far as the wiring goes, you're not going to see any of it. I'm just going to run that up through here. All right. Very nice. And I'll just tuck that after. We'll tuck that in back behind here. All right, slight change in plan here. So because I want to keep this clean, I was able to tuck the wire up under there and have it coming out here. I'm going to cut the back of the 3M tape at the edge here of where that plastic is, so that the backing will stay on beyond that, and then it'll just kind of, I guess, rest here. I'll have it rest here, and then maybe I'll just have this start tucking up like that right there, and by keeping it with, I guess, some pressure here, it's the only wire you're gonna see. In fact, I might even be able to get it to tuck up a little bit higher. Yeah, just like that. That way, it's just like that. Let me get it from the other side. All right, essentially, it's gonna look like that, but obviously it'll be stuck on. And that should give a really nice glow to the interior there from that angle. And all the wires will be completely hidden. You can't see anything. The only thing you can see a little bit is a little bit in this groove, but it actually looks like it's part of the car. You really can't tell that that's anything. And I didn't even tuck this side yet, and it still looks pretty damn good. So, yeah, this is gonna look really clean. I like it. I hate seeing wires. All right, so I'm not thoroughly impressed with the 3M tape that they use for these back of these lights. So I'm trying to figure out if I can zip tie into that area, this last strip under the dash. There really isn't a place to do it. However, all right, so unrelated to the packaging, this Tidy Helper cable clips, which have real 3M tape on the back. Let me show you what these look like. I've used these to hide computer cables and things like that. These are squared, and this will be perfect. That fits perfectly. I do trust this 3M tape. I've used it. It is exceptionally strong, and I can use multiple ones of this. So I'm going to plug a bunch of these underneath here, and then I'm going to basically, instead of having to drill holes, I'm going to use this. All right, I'm hoping you can see how I'm doing this. I'm going to adhere these 3M backings. This is going to be great, and this also makes it much less, I want to say permanent, but these 3M things, holy cow, they stick like crazy. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one here. Now that will give a little bit of play here. I'm not worried about that because no one's really going to be touching or moving this. But if you need to, you can just pull it right out of these clips. Yeah, that's gonna fit right there. Firm pressure right there. I'm gonna put one right here. This is gonna be perfect. This is gonna be very clean, very nice. Let's see where I'm going over here. Last one. I'm just gonna go right there. Now this is not going to block. That's perfect. I got 5 points of contact here. That's excellent. You can't see it. It looks fantastic. All I have to do now is tuck this little wire up behind this plastic piece here, which is, I don't even need a tool to do it. It's as simple as pie. Although, is pie really simple? No, there's a lot of steps in making pie. All right, there you have it. All right, passenger side done. No drill, no fuss, no muss. That looks clean. Right behind it is the floorboard one that I already installed. Here is the new one that I can turn on. So I've got two. I can have a double glow. This is really nice. This is going to be just perfect. I am thrilled at how this is going to work out. Exceptionally clean over here. You can't even see the wire. That's tucked up under there real good. So we're good. All right, so in the packaging also, it comes with these little plastic things that you could screw up with these crappy little tiny screws. So I may do that in the midpoint, because there is a place to do that midpoint. All right, guys, so here's something else that I have, which I'm going to make another video for. This is a little pack that I have that I've clipped here and here onto this panel here that gives me the ability to tuck away a bunch of goodies and items that I may need. I've got first aid stuff in there. I've got a roll of duct tape bent up in here. I keep my little camera in there. It's got Molly for other things in there. It's got zippered pouches here that I could hide a bunch of stuff in there. It's a good, I don't want to say hiding spot, but it's a nice place to keep things, because if you don't want to keep them in that center console, or you don't want to keep things in the trunk where it may get warm, or easily accessible, maybe a magazine, maybe a first aid kit, I don't know, pepper spray, something, you know, the options are just endless. Anyways, I'm going to tuck this wire behind here just like I did on the other side, starting over there, working my way around and getting it over here. All right, so here's me tucking some of these wires nice and tightly into this groove. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, because I can't see what I'm doing in the camera while I film this. Keeping that tight, tucking this up and under, and then it's going to go behind this little piece of carpeting right here, and that is going to look good. All right, so I was able to tuck it up under, through, under here, and then just like on the other side, back up, running up through here, coming into here, and then having it here. Now, the nice thing about that is that it does pinch a little bit, but it's going to keep it in place. And because there's not going to be a whole lot of motion or movement, I'm going to cut the red tape on the back here. I'm going to leave the backing here. I'm going to remove it here, so that's good. And then I'm going to run this wire like I did on the other side up under here, and then down through there to there, and then we're going to do the other side of the underdash. All right, so I used 5 of these clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I spaced them out to where they're not hitting, because there's some type of a plastic zip tie from factory, and so I didn't want to overlap those, so I got a very flat contact surface. So this is that red light. I don't know if you can see both. The LED lighting for the footbed, as well as this now. All right, so there you have it. There's both the lights there. There's the lights. I don't know if you can see it there, illuminated on this side and on that side. So Obviously it's daytime, you're not going to be able to see really good. I've got all the wires tucked nicely. I'll show you in the dark how this looks. All right, so it's hard to tell, but there is an underglow in there. And you can kind of see it. You really can't see it. It's daytime. It looks sharp. There's different modes too. You can select where it glows, it goes through flows, it goes fast, it goes with the music of the car too. I'll show you that when it gets a little darker. All right, so it's nighttime. There's Iron Man. Let's see what this looks like now. Ooh, nice. So before we had the LED footbeds, but now we've got back here, which gives this thing a nice warm glow. I'm gonna pull the car out and you can see it out. All right, so I'm in the cabin now and you can see it's nice glow. I'm trying to see if I can zoom out a little bit. Not too intense. You can see down by my feet, a little bit back here. So with the remote control, you could do different modes. You can make it change fading in and out from different colors. I don't know if you can see that. You could have it respond to music. So it's pretty cool. I like it just set on red because it goes with the ambiance of the red car. All right, so this is what it looks like if you were to come up to the car. It's not overpowering, you can't really see that. But there's a nice little red hue, just a nice glow in the car. It's a bit underwhelming actually. I wish it was a little bit brighter, but yeah, it gives a nice little warm glow there. So now here it is with a blue glow. It actually is a lot brighter with blue than it is with red. You can make it cycle through. Here's green. This is purple. It definitely gives a nice hue to the car. Yep, you can see there's a little hue. It's a nice light reddish glow. I like it. Looks nice. Subtle. Here's something I want you to see. When I open the door and the footbed comes on, you can see how much brighter that gets. I kind of wished it was that bright. However, at the same time, it's nice that it's not that bright, so that when you're driving, it's not too distracting. You can see it just dims down to a nice red glow. Not bad. Yeah, the blue is definitely a much richer, lighter, brighter color. Disappointing because I like the red, but I guess you could have red, white, and blue, and that's kind of cool too. Now it comes with this handy dandy remote where you can turn it on and off. You can change the modes, you can change the brightness. I have it on full brightness right now because I think if it was any dimmer it wouldn't be really worthwhile. Alright, so with the roof up and the windows up, it's actually not bad. It's actually nice. It's very subtle, yet it gives a nice glow. You can see your legs and feet down here. You can see down here, and that's about where your, well, this is actually where your head would be, so you're not going to see any lighting like that. I would like it to be a little brighter, but to be honest with you, for I think the 40 bucks I paid for it, not bad at all. Pretty nice, man. Like, share, subscribe.